One of the most challenging and often painful lessons a man must learn is that the landscape of modern interaction is fraught with mirages. A warm smile, a lingering compliment, a moment of seemingly intimate affection, these are not the reliable currencies of genuine desire we often mistake them for. They can be, and often are, deployed as social tools. Many women, often subconsciously conditioned by a complex social environment, become masters of displaying interest when it serves an immediate purpose. This purpose is rarely malicious, but it is frequently self-referential. The desire for attention to feel seen, for validation to feel desirable, or simply for entertainment to stave off boredom. The man who fails to understand this fundamental distinction is setting himself up for confusion and frustration. Constantly mistaking this tactical warmth for strategic interest, he finds himself trapped in a cycle of hope and disappointment, investing emotionally in connections that were, from the other side, only ever meant to be temporary. This confusion arises because we are wired to interpret positive signals as reciprocation. However, the critical difference lies in the underlying motivation and ultimately the consistency of action. Casual flirtation is a moment. Genuine interest is a pattern. The former is situational and self-serving, extinguished the moment its utility is past. The latter is intentional and additive, seeking to build something sustainable. The woman who is truly interested does not communicate through a veil of games or tests. Her actions cut through the noise of illusion with a clarity that is both refreshing and undeniable. She is not managing options or maintaining a backup plan. She is engaging with you specifically and with purpose. Learning to identify this authentic signal is the first and most crucial step in a man's journey toward emotional efficiency. It is the skill that prevents him from wasting his most valuable resources, time, focus, and emotional energy in connections that lead only to dead ends. It moves him from a position of chasing validation to one of discerning value. When he can spot the real thing, he ceases to be a participant in games. He cannot win and becomes a selector of meaningful partners. He understands that his value is not determined by the attention he receives from many, but by the sincere investment he shares with one. This knowledge is empowering, liberating him from the anxiety of misinterpretation and allowing him to invest only in those who see him not as an option, but as a priority. The foundation of any authentic connection is built not on grand gestures or passionate declarations, but on two fundamental, action-based pillars: investment and respect. These are the tangible, observable metrics that separate a woman who is genuinely interested from one who is merely engaged in the moment. Where illusion is sustained by words and fleeting excitement, reality is constructed through consistent effort and deep regard. Investment is the first and most telling indicator. In any interaction where interest is superficial, the energy flow is almost entirely one way. The man is positioned as the pursuer, the planner, the constant initiator. He is the one begging for scraps of attention, overanalyzing text messages, and carrying the entire weight of the conversation. A woman who truly sees potential in you operates on a different principle: reciprocity. Her effort is not something you have to extract. It is given freely and consistently. She reaches out first, not because she is desperate, but because you are on her mind. She asks about your day not as a polite formality, but because she is genuinely curious about the answer. She remembers the small details: the name of your childhood dog, the project at work that was stressing you out, your irrational hatred of cilantro, because she is actively listening and filing that information away. This is not a strategic maneuver. It is the natural behavior of someone who is intellectually and emotionally engaged. She makes space for you in her life, not as an intrusion to be managed, but as a welcome addition. Her investment is steady and purposeful, proving that her interest is not a fluctuating resource dependent on her mood or the availability of other options, but a stable and growing commitment. The second pillar, respect, is the structural integrity that holds the entire connection together. It is far more profound than simple politeness. In situations of casual entertainment, a woman may see your boundaries not as expressions of your character, but as obstacles to her fun or challenges to her ego. She may test your limits, push you to break your own rules, or disregard your standards, to see if you will fold. This is a power game, and your compliance signals that you are pliable and your self-worth is negotiable. In stark contrast, a woman with genuine interest views your boundaries as essential components of who you are. She understands that your time is valuable and does not seek to waste it with games or last-minute cancellations. She honors your emotional limits and does not weaponize your vulnerabilities against you. This respect manifests in her actions. She is punctual. She is present when she is with you, and she listens to understand, not just to reply. Most importantly, she aligns her behavior to honor your standards. If you value honesty, she is transparent. If you value loyalty, she is unwavering. She does this not out of fear, but out of admiration for your strength and a desire to be worthy of your trust. She recognizes that a strong man is defined by his non-negotiable principles, and her respect for those principles is the highest form of flattery. It demonstrates that she values the man you are more than the attention you can provide. Understanding that while attention is temporary, mutual respect is the bedrock of something lasting and real. The true measure of a person's character and interest is not taken during times of ease and convenience, but in moments of challenge, distraction, and ordinary life. Anyone can be charming, attentive, and warm when the sun is shining and the energy is high. The first true test of sincere interest is consistency through difficulty. This is where illusion withers and reality stands firm. When you are inevitably busy, consumed by your mission or responsibilities, her reaction is telling. A woman who is only present for the entertainment you provide will interpret your focus as neglect. She may grow cold, withdraw, or issue complaints, revealing that her primary interest was in the attention she received, not in you as a whole person. In contrast, a woman with genuine interest demonstrates patience and understanding. She recognizes that your ambition and responsibilities are part of the man she is drawn to. She supports your grind instead of competing with it, offering encouragement rather than creating additional drama. This stability is rare because it requires emotional maturity and a secure sense of self. It proves her interest is not a fair weather phenomenon, but a steady commitment that can endure the inevitable ebbs and flows of life. This unwavering consistency is powerfully mirrored in her communication and effort. Communication is the bloodstream of a budding connection, and its quality is a direct indicator of health. A woman whose interest is shallow or self-serving will treat communication as a low-priority tool. Responses are slow, vague, or exclusively on her terms. Conversations are littered with one-word answers, unexplained delays, and a palpable sense of disengagement. You are left carrying the entire emotional labor of the interaction, constantly reading into tones and response times, trapped in a cycle of uncertainty. This is the language of someone who is merely passing time. Conversely, a woman who is genuinely invested makes communication effortless. She engages actively, asking questions that show she is listening and contributing thoughtfully. To keep the dialogue alive, she initiates conversations without hesitation, proving you are on her mind. There is a palpable sense of ease and mutual flow. She does not leave you in the dark to wonder about her interest. Her consistent effort makes her position undeniably clear. This removes the need for you to decode signals or play games. It is a quiet, powerful demonstration of respect for your time and peace of mind, signaling that she values the connection enough to nurture it proactively, ensuring it thrives, even through the quiet periods. While initial attraction might be built on surface-level charm and shared laughter, the transition to something meaningful requires a descent into deeper waters. This depth is characterized by a willingness to be vulnerable and a conscious alignment of one's life with the other person. These are not actions that can be easily faked. They are the natural outpouring of genuine investment and emotional safety. A woman who is merely entertained will keep the interaction light and fun. A perpetual first date where nothing of true substance is ever risked or revealed. Laughter is real, the flirtation is enjoyable, but the connection remains on the superficial plane of good times in casual banter. She guards her inner world closely, understanding that to reveal her fears, insecurities, hopes, and dreams is to grant a form of power. And this is not given to men she views as temporary. In stark contrast, a woman who genuinely likes you will gradually and intentionally let you into those protected spaces. This vulnerability is the ultimate currency of trust. She might share a childhood insecurity that shaped her, a professional ambition she's terrified of failing at, or a personal dream she holds close to her heart. She will ask for your opinion on matters that are deeply important to her, not just your thoughts on a movie or a restaurant. It is a significant risk. It makes her exposed and defenseless. Therefore, when she chooses to be vulnerable with you, it is not a sign of weakness but a profound proof of interest. It is her subconscious, declaring that she feels safe with you, values your perspective, and sees you as someone who could be a permanent part of her narrative. She is, in essence, allowing you to see the authentic person behind the social facade. Trusting that you will handle that truth with care, this deepening connection naturally leads to alignment. Her interest ceases to be an isolated event that happens only on dates and becomes integrated into the fabric of her life and future. You see this in subtle shifts in language. I statements slowly become we statements. She begins to casually weave you into her future plans, not in a pressured way, but with a sense of natural anticipation. She might say, "We should go there someday," or "You'll have to try my mom's recipe when you meet her." This demonstrates that she is not just thinking about you in the present tense. She is mentally placing you in the chapters to come. Furthermore, this alignment is evident in how she celebrates your existence. She becomes your unofficial champion, taking genuine pride in your successes as if they were her own. She doesn't feel threatened by your growth. She is energized by it. She supports your mission at the gym, in your career, and in your personal pursuits because she understands that your evolution makes you a more complete person. And she wants to be alongside that person, growing with you. This is the difference between a distraction and a partner. Distraction is kept separate from one's core goals and identity. A partner is invited in, their success is shared, their journey become a part of your own. This conscious weaving of lives is the clearest signal that her interest has moved beyond the fleeting and into the foundational. The final and most definitive proofs of genuine interest are not found in the easy early days of attraction, but in the crucible of real-world challenges. These are the moments that strip away all pretense, revealing the core foundation, or lack thereof, a connection. The ultimate tests are how a woman behaves when presented with temptation, how she navigates conflict, and, perhaps most importantly, how she responds to your inherent independence. These actions move beyond mere liking and into the realm of profound respect and authentic partnership. The test of loyalty and temptation is paramount. It is simple to appear committed when no other appealing options present themselves. It's true. Character and interest are revealed precisely when those options are plentiful and enticing. A woman who is only partially invested will often keep her lines out, subtly or overtly entertaining the attention, validation, or advances of other men. She may justify it as harmless fun or maintaining options, but the behavior signals that her connection with you is disposable and replaceable. In stark contrast, a woman who truly values you and what you are building will not entertain these distractions. Her loyalty is not a performance for your benefit. It is an internal commitment. She instinctively shuts down flirtation and does not feed other men's egos because she is genuinely invested in the one she has with you. This is not about control or jealousy. It is about a deep-seated respect for the bond you share. She understands that trust is the most fragile element of a connection, and she would never risk shattering it for a moment of superficial validation. This same respect is the engine that drives her actions during conflict. Every meaningful connection will inevitably face misunderstandings and disagreements. A woman who is present only for the good times will see conflict as an exit sign. At the first sign of friction, she may disengage entirely, resorting to ignoring calls, blocking numbers, or immediately seeking solace or replacement elsewhere. This is the behavior of someone who avoids emotional labor and values her temporary comfort over the potential of the connection. Conversely, a woman with genuine interest approaches conflict as an obstacle to be navigated together, not a reason to abandon ship. She communicates, even when it's difficult. She seeks resolution instead of victory. She is willing to listen, understand, and work through the issue because she values the relationship more than she values her pride. This proves that her commitment is not conditional on perfect harmony, but is resilient enough to withstand the pressures of reality. Finally, and most revealingly, is her reaction to your independence and self-sufficiency. Many relationships are built on a foundation of codependency, where one person thrives on being needed. A woman with this mindset will initially love it when you make her the center of your world. However, the moment you pull back to focus on your mission, your health, your solitude, or your own growth demonstrating that you do not need her to feel complete, she may grow resentful, distant, or accusatory. She mistakes your independence for neglect because her validation was tied to your dependency. The woman who truly likes you, however, has a radically different response. She is drawn to your independence. It is one of the qualities she most admires. She does not punish you for prioritizing your goals or requiring space to recharge. She understands that a strong whole man is someone who chooses her every day, not someone who clings to her out of need. She respects your boundaries around time and your dedication to your purpose. Her sense of security comes from within, allowing her to appreciate your autonomy without feeling threatened by it. This is the highest form of respect, loving you for who you are when you are standing confidently on your own, because she knows that what you build together will be out of want, not need.